Welcome back and thank you very much for joining me. My name is Swadik Mayanja, and on this channel I bring you news, research, current events, and fun topics that matter to nurses everywhere. Quite the lineup today. Thank you guys for joining me. Let's get it started.
You'll be doing things you don't like doing in order to go on living, that is, to go on doing things you don't like doing, which is stupid. Better to have a short life that is full of what you like doing than a long life spent in a miserable way.
So, special announcement today. I do want to talk to you guys about me moving forward for this summer, and I am calling it the Instagram Summer. Yes, the Instagram Summer. For those who do know me, for those who are following me on Insta, you do know I love my Instagram. I'm on Instagram all the time, but I feel like I'm not putting my work ethic where my mouth is. Yes, I love Instagram, but I'm having too much fun in it. I'm not as serious as I should be about it. So, moving forward, I usually split my time up and my effort when it comes to Q the Nurse. I split it 33, 33, 33 on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. I am going to bump up the percentage on Instagram and cut down a little bit on the Facebook. Less on the YouTube side, but a little bit on the Facebook and a little bit on the YouTube. I really want to grow on Instagram. My end of summer goal for Instagram is 5,000 followers. That is the goal. And I'm going to be putting in the effort. The engagement is going to go super high. If you guys ever want to contact me, talk to me, message me, anything, DM me on Instagram. That is where you'll get me the quickest, the fastest, and the most efficiently. And my stuff on Instagram is going to go up. Hopefully 2 to 3 posts a day, every day. I'm going to try to keep it scheduled. Those are the goals moving forward. Now you know where to find me if you are looking for me at least until the end of the summer. That is the quickest and fastest way. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. Thank you very much. Now, for nursing news. So, it's not exactly nursing news, but this is important for us nurses to understand because it's for the health of the children and our lives and our communities, the people we take care of. And what's going on in Utah? Utah is passing a bill that I had no idea needed to be passed. I understand it now that after I read the research, but after looking at it just at face value, you might question, is this real? And that law is, the bill that they passed is for free-range parenting. Yes, there's a law for free-range parenting. And you might say, Q, what in the God's world is free-range parenting? I asked the same goddamn thing. So this is a bill passed by Utah Governor Gary Herbert. He signed it on March 15th, and it will be in effect in May, this coming May. And this law, legalizing free-range parenting, will soon take effect in Utah, allowing children to do things alone, like traveling to school. The bill redefines neglect in Utah law so that kids can participate in some unsupervised activities without their parents being charged. What I considered this, before I read this, I considered this law life, right? I thought this was just growing up as a child. Obviously, I'm confused. Obviously, I knew there was laws about if like a police officer were to come to your house looking for you and they found a kid that was like 5 years old at the house alone. Yes, that is neglect. I understood that, but I always thought that it was a parent's judgment to decide when a kid's old enough, right? And if that parent's judgment is leaving a 5-year-old at the house alone or 4-year-old at the house alone, yes, that is neglect. But I always thought it was a parent's judgment. Some 7-year-olds are much more mature than other 7-year-olds, right? Some 12-year-olds act like 7-year-olds. I thought this was all parents' judgment. I did not know that there were specific laws that said that at this age you cannot do this. I think it's a little off kilter. I think it's a little weird. And yes, safety is always the goal. And for us nurses, we know that safety is always the goal. But if we need it to be in like lettering, in the law, in the whatever, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Tell me what you guys think. But before I end this segment, I'm going to tell you what Dr. Dave Anderson says. He's a clinical psychologist at the Child Mind Institute. Anderson explained that those who are considering free-range parenting should take everything on a case-by-case basis. Parents want their kids to be independent, want to give opportunities to explore, but for many parents, that's going to be a personal decision, and that's what it should be. And it shouldn't be a personal decision like, in my household, every child I have at the age of 7 should be able to do everything alone. No, no, no. Like I said, even within the family, even with all of your same children, same parents, you need to decide that my 17-year-old daughter can drive from here to another state by herself and I trust her doing that. Versus my 18-year-old son who I can't trust driving across, city lines because he'll lose his mind and decide to do whatever. So, like, it's a case-by-case basis, right? All of these things, this is what parents have been doing since the dawn of time. The fact that we're writing into law just, makes it official. Makes it official. That's the way I'm looking at it, at least. Some more exciting news. Planned Parenthood coming out swinging like Planned Parenthood should. I love myself some Planned Parenthood. Go Planned Parenthood. I'm all for this. But they sent out a tweet, and a very awesome tweet at that. It's about the Disney princesses that they want to see in the upcoming Disney movies. Right? Planned Parenthood, Women's March, all of these things fought for Disney princesses and just movies with females in the center of the screen, right? Without them being a Prince Charming coming to save the day. Without them being a sidekick to a Mr. Scientist guy. With them being the star, being intellectual, being smart, and not needing a man to help them, right? That was the big fight. But now Planned Parenthood is saying, I'm taking the goddamn chains off. We're going for big. Go for broke. Go for broke. Here is what they asked for. And I love it. I love it. All right? We need a Disney princess who's had an abortion. What? Yes, that's only number one. Okay, so the thing is, this is a movie, Disney princesses. You say Disney, you say princess, you automatically think children from 12 under, right? You think of little kids, little ladies, little young girls. And the first request is they want a Disney princess that has had an abortion? Yo, they ain't playing. They ain't playing, right? I don't even know. That was number one. We need a Disney princess who's pro-choice, very close to abortion. I love this. I think this is a much easier ask, right? You could just have a scenario in a movie where one of the princesses, whatever, has an abortion, mother, aunt, whoever, and then the princess is like, I'm pro-choice. Let's keep going with life, right? We need a Disney princess who's an undocumented immigrant. This is intense. I can just see Republican conservative heads exploding right now. But this is awesome. I think that's a great ask. We need a Disney princess who's actually a union worker. I'm looking at a nurse. We need a nurse princess. I'm all about it. Get it. We need a princess who's trans. I love this. And those are the 5 asks that Planned Parenthood had asked of Disney. I don't know how Disney's taking this. I don't even know what their responses are, but I do know that Planned Parenthood, I love just the outward, like, I want it all. I'm not holding back. I want all of it. I want equality, and I want to see these disenfranchised people on the screen in the brightest lights ever, and that is, of course, being a Disney princess. We all know that. We can't pretend. Moana's the shit. Frozen's the shit. Elsa's kicking ass. We know these things. We know these things. Moving on. So, we talked about the flu a lot this past flu season, but wait. Pause. Because the flu season isn't over. Yes, that is right. You should most definitely still go get a flu shot, and the flu season isn't over. And if you even already had the flu, there is a chance you might have the flu again in the same season. So let me give you some information before you call bullshit on this, alright? So the bulk of this year's deadly flu season was dominated by the H3N2 virus, an influenza A strain that is more severe and less receptive to vaccines than other types of diseases. As the season winds down, however, influenza B has taken over. Influenza A setting the scene for a possible second wave of flu, according to the CDC. The good news, though, understand this, there is good news behind this. The good news is that, influenza B viruses traditionally respond better to vaccines than influenza A viruses. By CDC estimates, this year's flu shot was 42% effective against influenza B versus 25% effective against the H3N2. And then last but not least, believe it or not, it is still not too late to get your flu shot. All right, the CDC recommends vaccination as long as the flu viruses are circulating, and with 17 states still reporting widespread flu activity, that puts us squarely within that window. So, the flu season isn't like summer, winter, spring, where it ends on a specific day. Even if they snow outside, you call it spring. Nope, that's not how it works. The flu season is the flu season as long as that flu is spreading and getting people sick. And that is the situation we are in today. If you have not gotten your flu shot, please, and I beg of you, please, go get your flu shot. Yes, you might get it a day before the next flu season starts, but go get it anyways. It is important. You don't want to be sick. As you know, and as the news has been showing you and throwing in your face this entire flu season, it is a scary, scary disease. It's a scary, scary infection. People get very sick. People die. Children have died from the flu this year. So go get it. And don't be ridiculous. Just get the flu shot. It hurts for like a half a second. Your arm is lightly sore for half a day. You'll be fine. Go get it and stop getting other people sick. All right. So we're going to turn this news segment into a little bit of a different topic today, and we're talking about fertility. So there's a fertility clinic in Cleveland that had an incident, and in this incident, many embryos that were frozen embryos were destroyed. And this is a scary thing for many, many people. I'm pretty sure it's over 1,000 families that are affected by this incident that happened in Cleveland. So let me just tell you what happened. More than 3 weeks after a tank failure, a fertility center in Cleveland, the University Hospitals Fertility Center, is now saying 4,000 frozen eggs and embryos were lost, twice the number the hospital initially reported. So a long-term storage tank containing liquid nitrogen in the University Hospitals Fertility Center in Cleveland experienced an apparent equipment failure over the past weekend, allowing the temperature to become warmer than it should. As a result, many of the eggs and embryos, some of which have been stored for decades, may no longer be viable. So this is really scary stuff. And the reason this is really scary stuff is because there are a women everywhere have been, having their embryos frozen because they want to have kids in the future, right? And this is something super sacred. And this is actually one of them situations, one of those concepts that you don't even think about until things go wrong, and you're like, holy shit, this is super important, and I'm really afraid. Not really afraid, I'm really upset that this is happening, right? Because I'm going to give you a scenario, not a scenario. This is a real life story of a family that had literally, this was their source of having children. So despite 11 miscarriages, that is bravery, that is dedication, that is effort, like personified. 11 miscarriages and you still going. Just good for you, right? Good for you. So despite the 11 miscarriages, Wendy and Rick had 2 healthy children with the help of the University Hospital Fertility Center, but now there is no hope of using their frozen embryos to have a third child, right? And understand, like, this is not something that you just go to the hospital and you're like, yeah, let me freeze my eggs. This is an entire procedure that you have to do. You have to pay a shit ton of money. A lot of the times this is not entirely covered by insurance. It's super, super, super expensive to get your eggs frozen and then go and get the, actually, if you want them implanted and if you want to have a baby with those frozen eggs. This is an insanely expensive process, right? And it's not easy to get your eggs frozen. It's not easy, but it's also not difficult. So if you need to do it, please do it. This is definitely an aberration. This is not happening often in many different fertility clinics. What I'm trying to say is, it's a long process. It's an expensive process, and it's a heartful process. Understand this. A lot of women that do this is women that don't have a partner, that want to make sure that they're able to have a kid later in life. Many of these women can't have babies, mind you, the 11 miscarriages, right? So this is an important thing, very important. So when shitty situations like this happen, when 4,000 embryos are instantly unusable, it doesn't just, is horrible for the woman that came in. This is horrible for their entire families. right? This is horrible for the future of our country. A lot of people who, a lot of women who don't want to have a partner or want to do it on their own time, with their own will, right? Get their careers going, have planned their entire life that this is the age I want to get pregnant and this is when I want to do it, where I want to do it, and how I want to do it. These are the kind of women we would love to have more and more children. So if these situations make it impossible, let's say these situation makes it impossible for that woman to have her own children, it sucks. It just sucks. So I want to talk a little bit about being a sane nurse, being a sexual assault nurse examiner. This is super important. This is something a lot of people, nurses, the community just look over. When you watch these CSI movies, Law and Order TV shows, all of these, forensic movies, a lot of people like yelling at the top of their lungs, go get a rape kit, go get a rape kit, go get a rape kit. Yes, go get a rape kit. Do you know who's responsible for that rape kit? Yes. It is you and me. It is us. It is us nurses that are responsible for getting these rape kits done, right? How many nurses are certified to get this done correctly? So hopefully we can get the evidence needed so that the victim can get some kind of justice, This is hugely important, especially in the culture that we're in right now. I know at the number one thing every victim that has come out that has accused any man for doing anything, it's, why didn't you do it at the time? Why didn't you go get a rape kit? Why didn't you do it at the time? Why didn't you go get a rape kit, right? That is huge. That is huge. So we want to make sure when these women are brave enough, are emotionally able to get it done at the time of the situation or a day later, whatever the situation is, we, us nurses, want to make sure that we are trained enough to get it done right. So we're not messing up the system. We're not making it worse for the victim and making the victim have to stress not only about this shitty, impossible situation that she has been through, but have to also worry about, is my nurse qualified to do this test? All right. So it's just a little quick story about quick story. This is just one story from a rape victim that went to a hospital. She went to a hospital after the night that the rape occurred. When she got there, the nurse has never never done it, wasn't trained to do it, and she was just like, this is absolutely insane. So Kate O'Brien woke up after she woke up in a stranger's apartment. Her body was numb. She didn't know where she was, but she knew that she was in some type of fear. She knew, this is not right. I don't know what is happening. She thought she was drugged. She thought she might have been drugged after talking to a few friends. So in a Chicago emergency room that she went into that morning in 2009, her nurse was kind but clearly nervous as she opened the evidence collection box known as a rape kit. Kate says, it's a little weird to hear, oh, this is my first time doing this. It makes me feel very unimportant, like what had happened to me wasn't a big deal, so it doesn't require someone who really knows what they're doing. And this is not, and like I'm saying, like this is just one specific story that the article was written about, but bigger picture, and especially in Cleveland, and I'll give you those numbers, this is not unusual. And after I tell you those numbers, you'll understand why it's not unusual. Of course it's not unusual when there's very, very little nurses that are trained to examine rape kits, to have the rape kit happen, like to do it correctly, right? There are more than 196,000 registered nurses in Illinois. Only 32 nurses. 32 nurses. That's probably, I don't know Illinois, like, I've never been there. I don't know the stats, but that's probably one per hospital in the state. It's crazy, right? So only 32 nurses in the state are certified by the International Association of Forensic Nurses to work with adult sexual assault patients. 12 of those sexual assault nurse examiners, known as SANE or forensic nurses, are certified to treat children. That's insane. That to me is insane. I had no idea that it was that few nurses that were actually trained. And like I said, this is only Illinois. This is only Chicago. I don't know Massachusetts. I don't know New York. I don't know California. I don't know those numbers. What I am looking at is the numbers in Chicago, Illinois, where the story was written, where this article was made. So, just expanding this. I'm assuming that the numbers aren't like one nurse per, there's one nurse on every unit that knows how to do this. I'm assuming it's not like that, right? But I think it should become a standard for nurses, at least at the hospitals, to have one nurse per unit, especially if it's the ED. If it's the ED, you need at least 2-3 nurses. This is the worst situation in like your life, right? This is the scariest moment in your life. The last thing you want to worry about is, after having the courage and the strength to go in to get your body, touched and probed and, it's not a fun situation. After the worst violation of your body, you go into hospital to get tests done on your entire body, feeling insanely vulnerable, and then you have to worry about the nurse knowing what he or she is doing. I can't imagine that, and I don't wish that on any human being, not even my worst enemy, right? So I really do hope that with this kind of push, we can get more sane nurses in EDs, in ICUs, in all of nursing, so these victims can get the justice they so deserve. The very little justice, if we do these rape kits correctly. So horrible news, switching to some decent news. I am a lucky man. I am a happy man today. And you know why I'm a happy man today? I was the Healthy Nurse, Healthy Nation spotlight person. I was featured as the spotlight nurse in Healthy Nurse, Healthy Nation. If you don't know what Healthy Nurse, Healthy Nation is, you're out of your mind. Well, I'm here to help you. So if all, and this is their mission statement, if all 3.6 million registered nurses increase their personal wellness and then their families, co-workers, and patients followed suit, what a healthier nation we would live in. That is the goal of the Healthy Nurse, Healthy Nation Grand Challenge, an initiative to connect and engage nurses, employers, and organizations around improving health in 5 areas: physical activity, nutrition, rest, quality of life, and safety. I was featured as the Spotlight Healthy Nurse, Healthy Nation member, and I don't know if it was because of my good looks, or it was my CrossFit, my crazy CrossFit, go CrossFit. No, I'm kidding. It was because I make these videos. It's because I love making these videos, and they said that this is emotional, just life personality wise, following your passions and having a healthy outward something. I don't know. The link is in the description box below. I am the happiest man alive. Oh my goodness, wait just 1 second. Let me put on their shirt. The one that they shipped over to us shipped over to me. I gotta show y'all. Well, this is a shirt, y'all. Real nice shirt. Get my muscles out there. Healthy Nurse, Healthy Nation. I like it. It looks really pretty. Gotta check me out. Yeah. Go Healthy Nurse. Go Healthy Nation. So that was the shirt. They got it shipped over. They put spotlight on me, and not only did they give me a shirt, they also gave me a lunchbox. I don't know who told them that I take my Market Basket plastic bags to work, but they know me. I love it. Supported by the American Nurses Association. It's not actually supported. It's a part of the American Nurses Association. They did create it. I love it. I'm super happy. And these are the kind of things that happen when these are the kind of things that just make all of this thing here worth it. So I think that's super cool. I'm excited. I did tell you the positivity of why Healthy Nation is going. Healthy Nurse, Healthy Nation is a thing, and why it's super positive, and why we all should sign up and find them on Facebook and Insta and follow them. But there's a reason that there's a Healthy Nurse, Healthy Nation, mission statement, and that reason is because nurses are less healthier than the average American. Research shows that nurses are more likely to be overweight, have high levels of stress, and get less sleep. As the largest and most trusted healthcare profession, let me say that again. As the largest and most trusted healthcare profession, nurses are critical to the health of the nation. Healthy nurses are great role models for the patients, colleagues, families, and neighbors that they care for and are a part of. So, that is Healthy Nurse, Healthy Nation. I am super proud. I am super happy. I just want to say thank you for choosing Q, the nurse, to be the Spotlight Healthy Nurse of the Week, month. I don't know what I think it's of the week, and they do it bi-weekly, so of the half a month. I'll take it. I'll take whatever. I don't care if I'm the nurse of the goddamn hour. I'll do it. I'll take it. Moving forward, nursing school is fun. Nursing school is hard. Nursing school is tough. And the thing about nursing school is all of these hospitals and nurses in general want nurses to be more educated, better educated. Nurses are a huge part of the healthcare system, and we need to be knowledgeable on all of these different aspects of healthcare and the things around it and the research behind it. So we need to be educated, and it's important that we are. But the education process for many nurses is very discombobulated, right? You can start out as an LPN, as a nursing assistant, and end up as an NP or as an advanced practicing nurse or as a CRNA. There's so many paths you can take into nursing, but there is a minimum that most nurses need to get. And that minimum that most hospitals are increasingly asking for is a BSN, a bachelor's science of nursing. So I think Colorado is doing an amazing thing. I wish this was a situation in the state I lived at. Let me tell you what they're doing. So they're passing legislation to address Colorado's nursing shortage, and they're going to sign it into law. So previously proposed legislation to enable 13 institutions in Colorado's state system of community colleges to offer 4-year Bachelor of Science in Nursing degrees was signed into law this week. The new legislation, HB 18 to 1086, Community College Bachelor Science Degree Nursing, will set the stage for Colorado community colleges, college system, to begin offering a BSN completion program. And this is amazing. This is awesome, spectacular, beautiful, exciting news. I am a nurse that went to a junior college and is currently getting my bachelor's degree at through an online program. Would I have loved to finish my bachelor's at that junior college if it was an opportunity, if it was an option? You bet your ass I would. Junior colleges are state colleges and private colleges, 4-year programs are insanely expensive, and junior colleges are half of the price. Most of the time, a quarter of the price. Right? If I had the opportunity of finishing my bachelor's degree at a junior college, I would have jumped through off my roof to get it. I would have jumped through a window to get it. I mean, I think this is really, really good news. And like I said, it's so discombobulated. There's so many ways to end up being a nurse. There's so many different paths you can take, and I love the options, right? But if the bare minimum that hospitals want is a bachelor's of science in nursing, I feel like that's the bare minimum that they should be offering, people, so they can start out and finish in one system versus going to a junior college and going to a college that offers a bachelor's degree program and then going to a different college that offers a master's degree program and then a doctorate degree program. It is like you got to go to 16 different schools to just become the nurse you want to become. And I love that they kind of cut that bullshit out the way and make it simpler for our nurses to become bachelors, to get their bachelors, because the better educated our nurses are, the more educated our nurses are, the more educated we are, the better the health of the community will be. And that is goddamn the end goal, right? The end goal is for a healthy, better nation. Shout out to Healthy Nurse, Healthy Nation. You know what I'm talking about. Hey. So, final story of the day, and this is a personal one. Because we just talked about the Healthy Nurse, Healthy Nation, and we talked also about a bachelor's degree in my junior college time, I want to just dedicate this nurse of the week, the nurses of the week, to just a general population of nurses, and those are nurse educators. I'm saying this because I just want to just a huge shout out. I literally, when I was told and I received the confirmation, congratulations Q, you are, the Spotlight Healthy Nurse of the Healthy Nurse, Healthy Nation. There was the first nurse I thought of. The first person I thought of was my professor at the junior college I went to, and I'm going to shout out her name. I hope she doesn't mind. Professor Rolfe. And I texted, I sent her the link, and I'm like, look at me go. So I just want to take this time to thank her and all of the professors at Mass Bay that have helped me become the nurse that I am today. Nurse educators are amazing human beings. Being a nurse educator is super important. It's super important. I'm over here rah-rah every single day, 24/7, talking about the great things us nurses do. None of it possible without these nurse educators. Understand that being a nurse isn't something that you can just do like off the bed, roll out of bed, I'm going to be a nurse today. There's a process to it. Kick my ass. Nursing school kicked my ass. For those who don't know, I had to go through nursing school twice. My first time I failed out of pharmacology. I signed back up the year of, literally like the day I got out of nursing school. I'm like, yep, I'm coming back. And the professor I mentioned earlier, Professor Rolf, and really her tag team buddy, Professor Hackle-Account, walked me through that program the next year and then the year after that when I finished. They literally took care of me and made sure that I was on my shit, made sure, did not give me any bonus credit, none of that bullshit. They held a different standard. Right? You go through all of your college classes thinking you're the genius, you pass your anatomy, you got an A, you know all the bones, right? You go through your chemistry class, you're like, I'm the shit, I'm great. And you get into these nursing classes and you get punched in the face, right? They say, oh, no. We don't want you to memorize the periodic table and memorize the bones in your anatomy class. We want you to know some information and then use your brains. Use them brain cells to critically think, to figure out where the correct answer should be. And this rips you into shreds. And this is the responsibility. Understand the responsibility of these nurse educators. These nurse educators are responsible to make us nurses, get us to a level in which we are competent enough to take care of all of the human beings on the planet. The sickest, the happiest, the oldest, the youngest, the most ill people on the planet, their responsibility is to get us ready to take care of them. So huge shout out. I can't imagine where I'd be. Literally, I can't, because I told you, I failed that first time. And those two professors took me in under their wings and said, you know what? You're going to have to cut all the bullshit out of your life. Get serious. Study, focus. And hopefully one day you'll be a nurse. Thank God I'm a nurse today. They took me under their wings. I graduated nursing program. I passed the boards on my first attempt because that's how good they are. And I'm the happiest human being ever. Since the day I passed my boards, I haven't looked back. I can't imagine me doing a different profession. I felt like I was born to do this. And I definitely wasn't because I failed, but they helped me realize my potential in nursing school. And I hated them at days. I absolutely loved them today. I hated them at times. I thought, holy shit, I thought you guys were here to help me. But like I said, they weren't giving me any slack. They need us to be the best we possibly can be. And that's what I have to say. I'm thoroughly thankful to my nurse educators as a whole. Like I only mentioned two, but there's a whole crew of them. Professor Olivar, Professor Mancini, Professor Cohen. The whole crew. These are people. You don't know what I'm saying right now. It's just gibberish to you. But these are people that have literally changed my life. And I can't imagine who I'd be, where I'd be without them. So just thank you. To just do me a favor, message, email, thank your nursing professor, thank your clinical advisor, thank the people that made you the nurse that you are today. Thank the nursing educators that are teaching us, the future nurses, to become the greatest nurses that they possibly can be. Because without them, we don't exist. And that just is a fact. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the flip.